We're in today with the legendary GTX Titan Z. This is a 2014 video card with 2880 shaders. It's got 6 gig of VRAM GDDR5, DirectX 11, running at 706 MHz on the core clock and 1753 MHz on the memory clock. Do remember, it says enable 4 GPUs. That means your 2 GTX Titan Z, and today we're gonna pair it up with this Intel i7 9th Gen. I'm gonna see how this setup is working in a couple of games. Apparently in this game we are getting around 60 FPS with maximum details. Good performance if you're asking me. The CPU on this occasion is not being utilized too much, 51 degrees with less than 50 watts consumption. And 8 gig of system RAM. Nice performance from the computer, but on the GPU side, the SLI is doing a fantastic job. There's no bugs, everything is balanced in between, and I think in this situation, the system is doing quite fantastic. With 50% utilized on the core with maximum detail. So the SLI is kind of good with this game. Oi, GTA 4, what you doing? Oh, I'm better with Crossfire, seriously. Look at this. Alright, GTA 4 with maximum details on 1080p on this quad SLI. It's working fantastic with 60-70 FPS. Imagine 2 Titan Zs in quad SLI and still can manage to reach 100 FPS with maximum details. At this point, it's starting to make a lot of heat because you can actually see the cores are reaching 80% load on the GPUs, 81 degrees, 90% load. I stopped it on 90% the fan speed because after that, I can barely hear myself. Seriously, they are so loud. 68 FPS, but the spike managed to put the FPS so low that it's quite unplayable. Let's do a drift and then we realize how the setup is working. There's a lot of lag here, and GTA 4, it's not the game for this. GTA 5 with quad SLI. Apparently this is one of those situations in which the game is running really nice with this configuration. The CPU is on 60-70% load depending on the situation. It looks and it feels very good because I'm on maximum details. The frame time is okay, nothing is glitchy here. GTA 5 is one of those games that is running really good with the SLI. The cores are under 50% load, hence why I got 66 degrees on the GPU on the first one, because it's choking the air, you know, it's choking the airflow from the second video card that sits under it, you know, and it's kind of loud, man. Overall, it's kind of loud, and I wish the game can not utilize the whole thing at maximum, because then I will get cool video cards, and those are the most important things here, you know, in a quad SLI. Look at this. It's getting hot in some situations. Metro, on the other hand, is running really nice. You can clearly see that the details are quite decent considering the age of the game. They're like 180 FPS on average here with this system. 1.1 gig of VRAM only used and 60-70% load on the cores. And managing to heat up the room really well with 78 and keep climbing on the temperature of the cores. Seriously, the game looks fantastic, it runs fantastic, and I think it will be very ideal to limit the FPS in the game here. To keep it on 60 FPS or something, because it's a story mode, linear, and I think this will help with the temperature and with the load on the video cards. It's really meant for this type of game, and I think you will enjoy it with the quad SLI with 2 GTX Titan Z, seriously. But in Battlefield 3 with this setup, it's looking and is running really nice on maximum details. 200 FPS with Titan Z. I think this is the right game for this combination. It looks really well, seriously, it looks fantastic, and this amount of FPS just shows me how well the system is performing with this Titan Z. I got like 7.3 gig of system RAM utilized here. The CPU is doing fantastic with 80 watts consumption, 2 gig of VRAM, 50-60% load on the GPU cores. It's kind of good, you know, and 70 degrees on overall performance on the GPUs. In some situation, even lowering the temperature, and I like it. I'm not judging, seriously. It's running really nice in Battlefield 3, this Titan Z combination. Battlefield 4 is running really nice on this quad SLI. It's utilizing properly the resource in this game with 60% load on the cores of the GPU. Kind of fantastic, with less than 80 degrees on the cores. It's kind of cool to see this setup running like this because it's only utilizing 2.5 gig of VRAM, so I really like this, delivering that 170 FPS on average. You can actually see the frame time is good, 5, 6, 7 ms, depending on the situation. This is what I want from a system, I'm not gonna lie. What the hell? But in Battlefield 1, you will get 140 FPS tops if you want to play with this type of configuration. Look at this, maximum details, looks fantastic. We're getting like 70-80% load on the CPU, 110 watts consumption from the CPU. It looks good, you know, it's running really good, and yeah, I think we are in a good position with this system. 11 gig of system RAM utilized here, and I think this is the best we managed to see from the system delivering. On the GPU side, we got like 60% load on the cores. That's actually good. 82 degrees is getting hot because it's being utilized, so I can't complain here. And 3.3 gig of VRAM use. No. But Modern Warfare 3 with this type of setup, it's no stress. Oh! Look at it, 10-20% load on the cores. I mean, come on, look at that, underclocking the whole thing. Seriously, it's running with a base clock. In this situation, neither the CPU, neither the GPU, it's stress here. I think ideal situation will be to just lower the fan speed and everything in order to get good temps and good power consumption. But overall, it's good. 1.2 gig of VRAM utilized. No. I didn't even see them. Okay. But in Black Ops 2, we are getting 190 FPS on average with 1.9 gig of VRAM utilized. It's doing a fantastic job. It looks great. There's no problem here with the system. No glitches in SLI. 2 gig of VRAM actually. The system itself, it's only utilizing 7 gig of system RAM. That's great. And 20-30% load on the CPU. Yeah, with 50 watts consumption. The CPU is kind of okay with this. You know, it's not fully stressed. I think it's all good with the system. But on the GPU side, yeah, this is fantastic. This is the Titan Z. This is how it needs to be, you know, with this type of configuration, with a game like this. Black Ops 3 is running really nice on this configuration. Oh, no! The system has no problem. 12.3 gig of system RAM utilized with this game. I mean, the game is utilizing the computer really good, you know, but I'm very surprised that it's not utilizing the quad SLI. I mean, it doesn't have any stress with this. It's putting the CPU to work. 100% load on the CPU. Come on, that's actually good. I don't have the FPS, the right FPS, because of the CPU. I'm being bottlenecked here by the CPU. Can't believe it. Holy smoke, 95% load on the cores, 5 gig of VRAM utilized from this, and the game is using every single inch and watt from this configuration, aside from the CPU. Black Ops 3 was using the CPU, and Wreckfest is using the GPUs. Kind of interesting to see overall performance like this. Wreckfest is like flat out, seriously, without turbo, but for newer computers with more destruction on the cards. But apparently on quad SLI is working really nice here, seriously. Ow, no. But in Crysis 2 with maximum details, apparently we are not getting any load because 60 FPS. 60 FPS is okay for Crysis 2 because it doesn't need 200 FPS. But in this situation, because our GPUs are getting really hot, you know, 60 FPS is kind of ideal like this. And we get only 20% load on the cores. With 2.3 gig of VRAM, the game looks fantastic, there's no glitches, the CPU is not stressed, 55 degrees on the CPU, 30-40 watts, you know, and 7.3 gig of system RAM. This is what I need. Games like this needs to be put on the list if you are interested on running Titan Z in Quad SLI. Fallout 4, on the other hand, is running really nice with the system. The CPU is not fully maxed out here with only 60% load on the CPU and get like under 70 watts consumption. So yes, it's kind of great in overall performance. There's not a lot of problems. You're like 170 FPS overall, but in Fallout you don't need this amount of FPS. This amount of FPS, it's good if you're literally online playing, you know, but you can actually see that with this FPS you get some usage on the memory, you know, it's using 2 gig of VRAM and around 60% load on the core. In Far Cry 4 with this system we are getting around 80-90 FPS on average. This is kind of great. We've got only 10 ms in this situation. The game looks fantastic in this configuration, in this system overall. I like how it looks. There's no glitches overall. Look at this, kind of great. And I like the whole thing around this video card, seriously, how it's working. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I wish I had better cooling for this because it's getting really hot apparently on 70-80 degrees on the GPU. 80 degrees on a GPU is not great considering this is a Titan, you know. So with only 60% load on the cores, we are getting this amount of FPS. Now, in this situation, it needs only 2.8 gig of VRAM. In Far Cry 5, apparently, with maximum details with 1080p, we are getting 50-60 FPS. It is getting harder on the GPU to actually hold this amount of details and the performance. Looks great, you know, but the system is getting utilized here and you can actually see it on the quality and on the performance. I got like 16 ms, 20 ms nearly, and the cores are getting around 60% loaded with 70 degrees. Now, in this situation, if the core is not being utilized, the frequency doesn't go to nearly 1000 megahertz, only 700. But what's the problem? The problem is the VRAM. Look at that, 5.5 gig of VRAM utilized in this situation. It looks fantastic, you know, the whole game and the whole situation here with this setup. But yeah, in some cases it's good, it's bad. In some cases it's just perfect. But in Assassin's Creed, we are getting around 90 FPS with this configuration. We are utilizing 4.1 gig of VRAM. We're getting nice MS in this condition, 10 MS, 9 max actually, and that's actually fantastic for this system. But we are using 85% load on the core. That is going to heat up the video card, seriously. And you can actually see that the core frequency is over 1000. So this is that game that is utilizing the whole system properly. On the CPU side, we are using around 75, nearly 80% load on the core, nearly 100 watts consumption, and under 10 gig of system RAM. In Alan Wake 1, apparently, we are stressing the cores a little. You can actually see with maximum details. It's an old game, but neither there's GPU, it's new. So it's running really well. Under 10 ms, 1.2 gig of VRAM utilized. It's working really great on the cores, 50% load, 70 degrees, and 700 megahertz on the clock of the GPU. So it's doing a fantastic job. It's not overheating. I think it's an ideal configuration in order to play this game on maximum details. Ideal will be to lock it on 60 FPS and that's it. Just don't stress the system. By the way, the system is only utilizing 30% load on the CPU, 60 degrees and 50 watts consumption on the CPU. I'll take it. But in Witcher 3, I'm actually surprised that I have quad SLI, yes, with Titan Z, and the second video card doesn't work, only the first video card. So they made it for one Titan Z, but they didn't make it for video cards, seriously. Alright, so only two-way SLI is for this game, and NVIDIA Hairworks apparently is glitching. Look at this. It's disappointing to see how it's performing. I mean, it looks great with other video cards on maximum details, but with this one, it's glitching now and it's pissing me off. What a big disappointment is Witcher for me in this case. Seriously, I was expecting Titan Z here with hundreds of FPS on maximum details, but look at that mess. It's everywhere. 26 FPS. What the heck is going on with this configuration? Yeah, I'm very disappointed. But in ARK with 1080p with maximum details on Epic preset, we are getting really nice performance overall. Quad SLI in ARK is utilizing 50% load from the GPUs. Apparently in some situation you get 60% on the core. Yeah, first score from each video card. All right, so getting 82 degrees on the video cards. It's being utilized in the game with epic details. I remember this game being like one of those games that is testing my performance, and I always had problems maxing out the whole thing. You know, I like how it's working. I like how it looks. Everything is great with 80 FPS on average, with 9-10 ms. What do you think about Team Fortress with over 150 FPS on average? I will say this is a great performance because it gives me the opportunity to see all other games that are not being how should I say, it doesn't stress the system, you know. Look at the GPUs, how they are performing. Like 20% load on the GPU, 60 degrees, 706 megahertz on the core clock, 2 gig of VRAM. This is a game that is working in SLI, but it's not being stressed, you know. This is what I need from this. This is what I need from this computer. Oy. Who's here? The Titan Z becomes very rare nowadays. They are very expensive. They are not very recommended for gaming nowadays because there's a couple of GPUs that are cheaper than this, newer, and they run much better on every aspect of gaming. This is only for collection, this is only for enthusiasts, and I think the GPUs are quite fantastic, but that's the only reason it's worth having it, for collection. And I did manage to get 2 of them, so now, how should I say, it's a closed circles when it comes to Quad SLI. I think this is the peak of Quad SLI. But regardless, I like how it performed today, and if you enjoyed the video, please smash that like button, and if you have any suggestion in the future for SLI or for the video cards, for those 2 video cards, please leave a comment. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you soon.